Let me bang, I man. Do let you bang. Hey, let me bang you, man. I let you bang. I let you bang. Greetings, marrieds and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No for Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I'm here with the Ween Dog, Joe.
What's
Corrales.
up? Yep.
We're waiting for Shang. We're waiting for Sean McCorkle. It should be a very interesting show today, to say the least. There's a lot going on in the world. I know you guys are all thinking everyone's, got the same thing on their mind. Bellator tonight.
Yeah, everybody's thinking about it. It's all in the news headlines. Bellator, Corey Anderson versus Melvin Manhoef.
Which is actually a great fight because Corey Anderson is arguably a top 5 guy in the world. He's had a couple bad breaks, but he's good. He's really good. I mean, He knocked out
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. I mean, he was the first guy to really, derail that hype train, and he did it in style. And then he was like one fight away from a title shot, and then he got knocked out by who? Who fucked him up? Somebody messed him up pretty bad. I think who was it?
That was Jan Blachowicz, the current light heavyweight champion.
Right, the guy who I always think is going to lose, and he just wins. And he beats good guys. He beats Luke Rockhold. I mean, he beat the guy that I thought beat John Jones.
Dominic Reyes.
So good for Jan, man. I am now a converted fan, and I love that. I love when somebody converts me. I do, because I honestly love all fighters. I love watching fighting. It's been such a huge part of my life. And I like it when somebody proves me wrong. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, because, McGregor kept proving me wrong. I kept picking against Conor McGregor. I thought Chad Mendes is the guy, and then he just ran through Mendes. And I was like, I didn't run through him, but he beat him. But I'm like, he's not going to beat Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez is the guy that's going to test him. Mm-hmm. And then when I finally was like, you know what, he's going to beat Khabib, then he gets fucked up.
Well, our boy Jan Blachowicz, it appears that he has a potentially high-level opponent for his next fight.
Good for him. And I like that. Because I don't want to hear John Jones and Izzy going at it on Twitter. I get it. And then John Jones talks about going to heavyweight. It's like, okay, you know what? I want to see actual fights. I don't like this hype of talking shit to guys in different weight classes when it's not going to happen, or you have to wait 3 years past. I want to see the best guys in their division first, and right now Izzy has cleared out the division, but Jan, the Dominic Reyes fight was super impressive.
Yeah.
But I was a little worried that Reyes was coming off a high and still thinking about John Jones. Whenever you start thinking about the guy, not your opponent, it's usually a bad sign. And it happens all the time. Look at Phil Davis. Remember when Phil Davis was like getting in John Jones's face before the Rashad Evans fight? And it was just a mistake. Rashad Evans just took it to him. Or was it Rashad, or maybe that was before Rumble? But it was somebody where he was thinking about John Jones and not thinking about either Rumble or Rashad Evans. And you can't do that. You got to look about the guy in front of you.
Do you think that there's some echo? If you turn down your volume on your computer,
sure,
it's not that bad. All right. Do you think that the UFC is just setting up this fight just to, make Jones versus Izzy in the future? Maybe I feel like they want Izzy to win and get the light heavyweight belt just so they can have John Jones come back and fight. Because if Izzy loses, this is going to be a complete disaster for them.
I think the UFC has got smart enough to figure out that anything could happen. And you can't really set up fights to make other fights, because it just seems like if that was the case, they wouldn't give Sean O'Malley the guy that they just gave him. What's his?
Marlon Vera?
Yeah, Marlon Vera.
Does he have a new fight?
Yeah, or Andre Philly, his last fight. These guys these opponents are too tough. And they obviously figure that Jan Blachowicz is not a guy that you could just give to make another guy look good, because he could not easily, but he can beat Izzy, especially if Izzy's thinking about John Jones.
Yeah.
Or Izzy's thinking about Stipe Miocic or whoever. Izzy needs to think about Jan Blachowicz, because this dude's dangerous. really dangerous. And especially because he fights like he's in slow motion.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that are the hardest to fight. Like a lot of times those guys like Keith Jardine or Sam Alvey or those that 90-year-old from Australia, whatever his name is.
Daniel Kelly. Kelly, my favorite fighter.
Like those are the guys that are actually the hardest to fight because it's hard to find guys in the gym as awkward and goofy as those guys and as effective. And those guys just do things that you're just like, it's like people are getting there and they go, what the fuck's going on? And then they think they're going to run through them and then they don't. And that's the hardest thing for so many people. For so many people, if you get that first round, it's like the whole fight is now playing catch up.
Yeah.
You guys, they just all of a sudden their entire game plan gets derailed because from minute one, this is not the way this is supposed to go. And that's everything. I mean, I can't tell you how many auditions I've had where I'm like, oh, I'm going to nail this. Or how many sets where I'm like, why isn't joke number 1 working? Or joke number 2? Well, I'll get him in joke number 5, joke number 7. And then all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, I'm bombing.
Yeah.
And that's anything you do. And it's important also, like, I always say that, the good quarterbacks are not the guys that, like, when you see these guys from college who were studs in college and they can't make it into the NFL, a lot of it is because they can't deal with throwing the first 3 interceptions. It's those guys like Tom Brady and those other like elite quarterbacks that they could fuck up the first quarter of the game, but it doesn't get to them. Mm-hmm. But you see these other guys were like, the Ryan Leafs or, all of a sudden they're getting beaten up and that wasn't the way it was going in college. And then their head, so much of it is mental. Mental is like so important. And you can get a mental coach. And I'm starting to believe in them. At first I was like, this is bullshit. But I've talked to enough fighters where mental coaches have helped. One case where I think it's not helping is Diego Sanchez, based on his tweets from last night. If you could bring up his Twitter from last night. And a part of me is really concerned. I like Diego Sanchez. I'm a big Diego Sanchez fan. I've met him. He was super nice. He got really mad at me recently because I made fun of his coach, which was hard to not make fun of that guy. But last night, but then I'm like, well, this is how he's always kind of acted. So is this really, should we be worried when Diego Sanchez is not acting like this?
Now, I saw this in the headlines and I saw that he was going on some Twitter tirade and I purposely didn't look at it because I thought it was just going to make me sad. Yes. But here's his Twitter. Is there any specific tweet you want me to
I love you, even though you bots tried to kill my identity. Okay. I'll be living in my truck. John Bones Jones, text me, my truck is real. I love my Avalanche. Okay, so why
this is a coherent man. He's speaking tons of sense, and I don't see anything wrong with this.
Bill Cosby Jones is going to sue me. I don't even understand where that's. So Bill Cosby's a rapist, or so John Jones is a rapist. John Jones is going to sue Diego. I'm the real Burke. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
I move like this. Okay, and that's the guy. That's Jack Black. Maia. So he wants Damian Maia. That's actually a good fight, I think, for him because I think that Diego Sanchez against Damian Maia might be good because Maia doesn't really hurt people. Like, he'll submit him, probably, but he won't really hurt him. Cowboy Salami. I'm.
I think you have to put I'm in. I'm.
So Cowboy Salami. I don't even know. I guess Cowboy Cerrone. They called him Cowboy Salami. So that's a joke. Okay, that I get. But if I got to fight another 26-year-old, bring it. All right. So, at least he's saying if he has to fight young guys, bring it. Okay. I'd prefer a Legends fight. I like that too. That's good. I like that. Okay, there we go. Anyone who wants it, get it. All right, that I can get it. If you really want it, come get my reptile. Eats your weak ass serpent.
I think this is towards Dan Hardy, right?
Oh,
this is Dan.
Dan. If you really want it, come get it. My reptile eats your weak ass serpent. I'm gonna tell my wife that later. I'm gonna my reptile eats your. She'll probably go.
This reminds me of like a Brazilian fighter or a fighter that doesn't speak English, whose manager is telling them to talk shit on Twitter, and it just comes out like just complete like cringy and awkward. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're insulting Brazilian people. And he says, "You know what? I will break the internet." Conor McGregor, let's go. Okay, so I don't think McGregor wants to fight Diego. Well, I guess I can't even say that because he actually did want to fight Diego Sanchez. He goes, I'm a lion roaring. All right, that's good. Fuck all you haters. I like that. My peeps follow my mission. Okay. If Dan Hardy wants his combat death to be by me, come on, Dan, just ask. I'll give you the warrior's death you desire. It's a little extreme.
But and
then what's up, family? Okay, so that's pretty much what we got from Diego last night.
That was all within like the same hour too.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he's not handling the election too well. But I don't know. But then I'm like, well, has Diego really never like acted like this? Maybe this is his back to normal. Maybe when he's like quoting Shakespeare is when we have to worry. Yeah. Or when he's doing math, or he's curing.
He's doing math.
like maybe that's when we have to worry. But I don't know. I do. Diego. I met Diego. Dude, I took a flight to Toledo, Ohio. I took 3 flights. I tore my ACL the night before, so I was sitting and I was in denial about it. Mm-hmm. So it was at 10th Planet. I got caught in an electric chair. Yeah. I turned out the wrong way. My leg gave out, and then I was like, one of those things where I'm like, I know my leg's fucked up, but I don't want to admit it. So I'm sitting like on a plane for 3 different planes, which is probably the best after you tear your ACL to sit like that, right? With ice. So I get off the plane. There's nobody in the airport except for Diego Sanchez at like 7 in the morning. I mean, it was me. This Toledo airport, it held like 50 people. It was me and Diego. And I was like, and I knew Diego from Twitter, and he said he was a big fan of mine. We became like friendly. I've had him on the podcast. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? And then I'm asking him about my knee. I'm like, did I fuck up my knee? I'm thinking maybe, which is also how in denial, where I'm asking him about my injury, but I figure he knows. So he's telling me, well, where does it hurt? And he was like, you fucked your knee up, basically, Diego. But then I'm like, what are you in town for? He was speaking at a church with Vitor Belfort. They were on some tour.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was almost going to come. I'm Jewish, but I was almost going to come to that just to see what was going to go on. And
that is interesting.
And this was when Vitor was like TRT Belfort. Like, I mean, so that was wow. That was that. That's what me and that was my Diego. But Diego got mad at me recently. He said, go fuck myself and this and that because I made jokes about his coach.
But everybody's making jokes about his coach. It's like the funny thing in the MMA world is his coach. What's his name? Joshua Fabia.
Yeah, I know. He took it very personally. But listen, Diego, I got nothing but love for you. You're a great guy. If you're listening to this, I'm always gonna be a fan of yours. I mean, unless you do something crazy like War Machine or somebody like Chris Benoit or somebody like fucking insane. Then I can't be a fan. But right now, I'm a fan of yours, and I hope. I don't know, man. I hope you find happiness because I think that you are an amazing, extraordinary individual, and I love watching your fighting. So I got a letter from Mayhem Miller from jail, by the way. Mm-hmm. Little Mayhem update. He wrote me a really, really nice letter. He seems to be in really good spirits, and hopefully he'll be getting out of jail soon. That's all that I could really say about that. But so.
By the way, since we were talking about Izzy, did you hear what he said about his titty? He said that basically the reason his titty looked like that is because of marijuana.
Yeah, I've smoked marijuana in my life. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest pothead, but I've smoked enough, and I've never had my titty fall off. So I don't know if anybody. That must have been either the greatest weed of all time. Or maybe it was laced with steroids.
I feel like I heard rumors like when I was like 13 years old, when I was like in high school or whatever, middle school, that smoking a lot of marijuana will give you man boobs. But that explains where I'm at today with my man boobs from smoking so much weed. But it doesn't really explain how one titty looks like a deflated breast implant. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Shang?
Hey, what's up, man? Sorry about somebody hacked my credit card.
Really?
Credit card, debit card, credit card. My Instagram got hacked and my Twitter because they were connected.
Do you think they were upset you had no money on it?
Oh, no. $11K.
Really?
Yeah, serious. Yeah.
You're gonna get it back though, right?
Yeah, I was on the phone with fraud and it took me a little bit longer and they had me on hold. That's why I thought it would be done. It wasn't. So.
Yeah, somebody hacked my credit card and then sent me a job application. They were like, you need to get some money in your life. This is
it was. Yeah, I've been dealing with that, and it got me for $11K. But the bank said that it's gonna be no problem. They're gonna be able to get it back. And I talked to a lady in fraud. I have to go to the bank later today and just get a new temporary. It's been a weird morning. I've had my Twitter. Anybody follow me on Instagram? My Instagram is, for some reason, it's all weird and fucked up. I can see it, but you can't see it. So I'm gonna fix it. It's all jammed up. And my Twitter's, I fixed that, but it's still fucking up a little bit.
So let's talk about obviously what everyone's talking about. My daughter at class yesterday, right? I took her to ballet class. There was a little boy there, cute little boy, and she gave the boy a hug, and he gave her a hug, and then she kissed him on the cheek. I'm like, oh, this is adorable. Then she flashed him. And I was like, all right, so I had to come and like cover her up. I'm like, you can't show everyone your chest. This is not.
Wow.
This is.
Wow.
I mean, she's 2 years old, but still. It was. I
don't care if she's 2. Don't do that.
Yes, it was. So we're talking about Israel Adesanya, who had a man boot. One of his tit was falling off during his last fight. He said it was because of marijuana.
I said the biggest bullshit in the world.
Obviously, the weed was laced with steroids.
That just makes him look a lot more guilty when it comes to like the steroid accusations. I don't think this is a good route for him to go down. Maybe he's just making a joke, and then I understand if he's joking around, but to blame it on marijuana,
No, I saw he said that, and I just went, okay, dude, now you're reaching, motherfucker, you're reaching. So
yeah.
Meanwhile, a couple of the fighters got suspended for marijuana recently. That guy Kevin Kroom, who came on the podcast, who he took the fight on like 3 hours notice, didn't know who he was fighting, knocked the guy out, Roosevelt Roberts, in like 12 seconds, or he submitted him. And you know what? If you take a short notice fight, you shouldn't be tested for marijuana. You shouldn't get. First of all, you shouldn't even get suspended regardless. Dana White says obviously they're trying to reduce suspensions, but he doesn't want fighters showing up to the octagon high, which I understand if you're taking bomb hits like during the fight, that could be kind of
right. Like, hold on, don't hit me.
Yeah, like,
all right, let's keep going.
Or like you offer the guy a joint, then you punch him in the head. Like that's like your new thing,
Right.
But yeah, this is getting weird. The whole thing is getting weird. But it sucks. Also, Nico Price has 4 kids. If you have 4 kids, you should be required to smoke weed.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking, especially during a pandemic. That's stressful as fuck. I have one daughter, and when I put her to bed, I'm like, I need to smoke some weed right now because this is what.
It sounds hilarious. It's like, oh man, it's stressful. It's like people don't get it until you get it.
Yeah.
And then once you get it, then you go, oh, I got it. But Ween is like, yeah, not for a long time. I'm going to continue choking chicks and putting guns to their head until way later, and then maybe that, and then I'll do it to my kids when they get out of line.
But we got to talk about the elephant in the room, Roy Nelson. So Shang, as far as the election goes, what do you think is going to happen?
I think Trump's going to win.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, how?
And do I want him to win? Absolutely not, because I think that a lot of his followers are being hypocritical with the double standard of what they want. They say, hey, you can't do this, but we can do this. This is okay for you, but it's not okay for me. That type of shit. That just irritates.
How do you think Trump's going to win? Because they need, I guess, 6 electoral votes or 7, and right now he's losing in Nevada. So if Biden wins Nevada, it seems like it's going to be over.
No, he hasn't won. He hasn't won Arizona yet, even though they say he did. He didn't win yet, and he hasn't won Nevada. Also, Pennsylvania is 19 or 20 electoral votes, and then you got to look at Georgia. Georgia is 16 electoral votes. If he runs the table on him, then he wins the presidency. And
now you have to admit, because full disclosure, I voted for Joe Biden. Okay, but I voted
for Kanye West. So fuck all of y'all.
Based on the news, he's doing a lot better than they said he was going to do.
Amazing.
Amazing. He was down by 12 points. He was down by 15 points. Biden, it was going to be a clean sweep. It was going to be a blue wave. And that was not the case. That's not even close to the case. Also, and like I said, I mean, Trump there's things he does that makes me laugh. Even like bringing up Little Pump, mentioning calling him Little Pimp, mentioning Ben Askren, calling him a male model. I mean, even in this is all in like the last 3 days, like things that made me laugh. But so it does seem a little weird that if this is true, where they found 130,000 votes in Michigan that all went to Biden, like where are they? Like, is it like a bag of votes they're just finding that like on the side of the street?
No, it's from when you do it, when you mail it in and you request a ballot, they can see the count from that, and that's where the count is coming from.
There's no way 130, but it's impossible.
No. They already said that the Democrats will. Well, the mail-in vote is bigger with Democrats than it is with Republicans.
Yeah, but you can't. There's no way it's 130,000 votes.
130,000 to 250,000. This is a fact. But then people are going to go, well, that can't be possible. But if it was Trump doing it, they'd be like, well, it's okay.
But not one person out of the 130,000 voted for Trump.
There was a bump for Trump.
No, they're saying that they all of a sudden at like 4 a.m, they just found these votes. And it was 130,000 for Trump. I mean, for Biden, and 0 for Trump.
Where? For what city? Well, for Michigan?
Was it right? Ween Dog, am I right? Isn't that?
Yeah, I think it was Michigan. Is it Michigan or Wisconsin or Pennsylvania?
But okay, so nobody wants to talk about the amount of votes that Trump had already got a bump from the walk-in vote. So
I know, but it just seems like these strange, mysterious fairy votes are showing.
It doesn't seem strange, and I know you're not saying strange when it comes to Trump. Come on. He said Ben Askren.
Giving out Sharpies. They were giving out Sharpies in Arizona. They weren't giving out pens. They were giving out Sharpies to people, and then those didn't count.
It's a lot of fuckery. But
it does seem like this is like a big Scooby-Doo episode.
Exactly. Even if there's fuckery, there is still, I do believe, and my friends are like, get the fuck out of here. There's not gonna happen. I think Trump's gonna pull a full straight. He's gonna come. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. If there really was 130,000 votes, all of a sudden came out of nowhere, and they were all for Biden. That has to be. They have to discredit that. And say, why didn't they? Okay, so then he's going after Wisconsin with his lawyers, and he's also going after Wisconsin, and he's going to go after Nevada. But the bottom line is, why didn't he dispute Michigan? Because they're fucking authentic. They're authentic fucking votes. That's it. It was the mail-in vote. It has always been, because of the pandemic, Democrats were.
I know, but some of these 130,000 to 0 all of a sudden show up in like a bag. Like that's.
I don't think it was. I think you're making it sound more nefarious than it is.
It sounds like somebody pulled up.
Some dude just walked up. Hey man, you want some votes, bro? What's up?
It sounds like somebody pulled up in a truck with like a fucking a duffel bag of votes and just left it there. Okay, Ween Dog.
Okay, so if that's the case, then he should have. If that's the case, what happened with North Carolina, where Trump stormed back out the fucking blue?
No, I think Trump is winning North Carolina. I mean,
no, he wasn't. But when I'm saying,
they definitely called Arizona too early. But then Trump went on TV and said, "Vote's over. I won. Good night." That was a little strange.
Okay. No, that was strange. That was he wants lawyers. He wants to go to the Supreme Court. He wants it to go to the Supreme Court to choose. It's a fuck fest. Everything's fucked up. The comedy's not back like I wanted to be. And God damn it, I'm used to it now. The world's fucked up. The whole thing is a mess.
Where did Ween Dog go, by the way? Ween Dog,
apparently he went to the Matrix. Look at this fucking.
I don't know where Ween Dog went, but it's just I don't know. The whole thing is.
Where did Neo go?
It's entertaining though. You got to admit.
Yeah, but you know what? It's entertaining. So is a tiger eating a fucking kid. But
they should have that too. They should have that also. No. First of all, a tiger eating a kid is not entertaining.
To some people.
No, I love kids, and I
love
obviously
we both do. Obviously we do, but I'm saying.
That's Ween Dog. What are your thoughts on the election?
I think it's a lot of, for months, people have been saying, including the president, mail-in voting is going to fuck some shit up. Yeah. And fast forward today and shit's fucked up, right?
It's not really fucked up. It takes time to count votes. It's a pandemic. What the fuck do you think? Older people can't go out and vote and stand in line. So they had to mail it in.
But apparently dead people can.
Okay, and the dead people, but if that's the case, the GOP fucking elected a dead guy.
How many dead people are voting though? For real, how many?
There's already been like over 100 people confirmed that have voted but are dead. That have been dead since like 1824.
Okay, since 1824, that's rampant crime. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, it does seem though. But what about the 130,000 votes that showed up? We know, did that happen? Because everyone says that happened on my time.
It did happen for sure, but then they came out and said they added a 0 at the end of the number, so that's why it was such a big jump. But I don't know. Who knows, dude? I think what's going to happen in the end, in the short term, Biden will probably announce victory if he wins Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania. But Trump will take this to court because there is blatant voter fraud happening, whether you like it or not. That's a fact.
It's not blatant.
He will win in the courts. We have the Supreme Court. We have Amy Coney Barrett. Trump will then, in the long term, ultimately win the presidency because the Democrats are so bad at faking this shit. They're so bad at voter fraud. Thanks to the internet, go on Twitter.
Are you fucking kidding
There's
me?
so much proof right now that there's blatant voter fraud.
Voter suppression and voter trickery. It's all the Republicans. It's way more the Republicans.
McCorkle, Sean,
welcome to the loony bin.
Sean, you're an expert on cheating. All right, so
yes. Hey, you know what? What's up, man?
So, Sean, what's going on with you? What do you think's going to happen with this election?
Well, first, I got something I got to tell you real quick. I'm sorry for being late. I apologize. I thought an hour and 10 minutes ago, my girlfriend said, hey, would you run to Starbucks because she's working from home? She didn't have time. It's 5 minutes from my house. I figured, yeah, it'd be plenty of time. So I run there, get stuck in the longest line ever, over 40 minutes, and I'm sitting there. I'm dressed like an idiot. I was looking at myself like, man, this is ridiculous. I'm in my pajamas. Pull around the corner. I see a reflection of myself in the mirror. I was like, well, I guess I won't be eating those egg bites I ordered because I need to lose about 100 pounds.
Right.
So I'm feeling, fat, not feeling good about myself. I pull up there. I tell a joke about, I asked if the egg bites were full-grown chickens yet since I'd been in a line for 45 minutes, and they didn't get it. They're all just staring at me. And I was like, never mind. So sitting there, a guy that works there, I'm not going to say he was gay, but he commented on how big my hands are. And I'm so dumb. I said, dude, I'm big all over. And then he goes, really? And I was like, I don't know. So now I'm like, got a gay guy hitting on me, right? Which I guess is a little bit flattering, but I was like, man, I finally, I'm dressed terrible. I feel like fat, and gay guys are hitting on me. Now and nobody's laughing at anything I say. Now I do really know what it's like to be Brendan Schaub. So,
very good way to spin it all the way back to Brendan Schaub.
That's where we're going from the beginning. But, man, I think on this election, I think it's insanity, man. Like, I don't even know what will happen. I don't know. I know, obviously, Trump's going to challenge it in court. I don't know that it'll go all the way to the Supreme Court with what I'm reading, because they said a lot of times if they just leave it up to the states, regardless, that's the way the election's set up. But I think it's a sad state of affairs all the way around that those are two candidates, if you want to know the truth. But
now,
I don't know.
People are great, but Trump can go to court. He's already lost 5 court cases in a row. He's lost. This is a fact. You can say, we got to Supreme Court, we got Amy. If Amy is a constitutional fucking judge, she should look at the facts, not the fact that she was appointed by fucking Trump. That is a fact. That is it. Even if you look back at McCain's like, I'm a diehard Republican, but the Affordable Care Act shit needs to stay through.
Shang, what do you think about them? McCorkle, what do you think about them stopping the count? And then all of a sudden, did you hear there was 130,000 votes all of a sudden showed up?
I read that. I don't know if that's been verified. I did read that. If that's true, that's obviously fraud. But, I don't know. I heard that they're backdating some. I mean, you never know what to believe, because even when it is true, the media lies and says it's not, because they don't want you to hear, the truth. But it's just hard to, it's hard to tell. I don't know. I hope, like Shang said, I do hope that however they rule, that even if I disagree with it, I hope they go by the law, not by who appointed them. I do wonder if the Democrats would be regretting a little bit how hard they were on Kavanaugh and to a lesser degree the Coney Barrett lady, because they try to ruin Kavanaugh's life, so I don't think anybody as impartial as they want to be is going to forget that, and get a chance if they got.
No. You know why? Because one, they were hard on him because he had a lot of suspect shit around him. They weren't as hard on Amy, and that's a fact. They weren't as hard
on her. Yeah, no, they were much easier on her.
She published fucking letters that said she was against abortion. You can't look at it that way. If you publish something and say it, then they can go, well, that means you're biased pertaining to that. To abortion in Roe versus Wade. She published a thing saying Roe versus Wade should be overturned. It's print. It's in print. That's the thing that fucks me up. Reality with Trump supporters, right in your fucking face, and they still go, I don't see it. So you can harass Trump.
Yeah, but her job is to interpret the Constitution. Her job is they don't make the laws; they interpret the Constitution.
Okay, but she's supposed to follow the law. And in five different fucking papers that she wrote and spoke at colleges, she said she's against things that are.
All right, it's not about Amy. I don't want to talk about Amy Coney Barrett. I'm talking about the election right now. So
okay, even with the election, I think Trump is going to come back and he's going to win. He still will bitch. Even when he won, he said, fake news, fake this, fake that. What are you talking about? Even when he wins, he's fucking bitching like a little bitch. Even when he's fucking winning. Even when
Can you imagine if he did that? If he's like, this thing about me winning is bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, even winning, he bitches.
You got to admit, though, Shang, he did better than you thought he was going to do. No?
No, I'm not surprised by a whole bunch of fucking people coming out that drink muskrat stew and coming out going, I'm gonna vote for fucking Trump. I'm gonna make sure that he
the most minority votes for a GOP candidate since 1960.
Wait, we
I'm not saying black people and minorities ain't
the most minority votes for a GOP candidate since 1960.
And that's because you know why? Because Cubans think they're white. Cubans think they're white.
More white people voted for Joe Biden, but of course Donald Trump is the white supremacist. All of his voters are white supremacists. Blah, blah, blah. Basic CNN gaslighting, delusional bullshit.
I am an advocate and I push for Adam Hunter. But if Adam Hunter pointed to me and said, look at my African American, we're gonna fucking roll, bro.
Shang, didn't you predict Trump was going to win a few weeks ago? I thought you said that.
I said that before. I said Trump's going to win. He's coming back.
That's what I thought. I thought you said that weeks ago that you predicted his win. I may be crazy, but I thought you said he won.
I mean, look, how could he be a white supremacist if he likes Lil Wayne?
Okay, Lil Wayne. Yeah, exactly. Lil Wayne's not even fucking human. Are you kidding me? You throw Lil Wayne in water, and a bunch of Lil Waynes will jump out his back. He's a creature. We're not talking about him. Yes, there's a reason they call him a racist. And before we get into some
because they don't like him.
Because he lost fucking lawsuits. He lost lawsuits. The reason they say he's fucking crooked, he lost $25 million on Trump University where he had to pay it back. The court said that.
How does that make him racist?
But Trump University was open to rip off all races. Okay.
No, I didn't say. I just said he was corrupt because of that, and they said he was racist because he lost housing fucking lawsuits pertaining to racist housing lawsuits. And if you look at the Central Park 5, they were proven not guilty. He still ran a full page ad, in fucking all of the papers in New York to say he still thinks they should get the death penalty.
But didn't he pay for Jennifer, the girl from Jennifer Hudson? Didn't he pay for her the funeral of her brother and her parents? I mean, he's done a lot of things. But I don't know.
You know what? Fuck it. Listen. All right. Back to fighting. All right. So I'm going to take it back to fighting. I want to say something, and everybody's trying to act like Uriah Hall ain't shit, and he's too tentative and this and that. Uriah Hall is a good fighter. He just needs more killer instinct, but he's a good fighter. And the people that said he's not a good fighter, you're full of shit.
Nobody said he's not a good fighter, but
no. They did.
It does seem like he doesn't want to be there, though. It seems like he actually is fighting because someone's attacking him, and then he wins. Versus like he actually signed up for a fight. Like it feels like he just like all of a sudden is in the octagon and some guy's trying to beat him up, and he's like, "Oh, I have to fucking counter shot." It doesn't seem like he actually wants to be there.
But he's tentative, absolutely. But lately, I mean, other than Acosta, which he just got murked. But he was like in the fight until he got murked. But Acosta is the kind of person, because he's heavy-handed, he hits you, and then most people go to sleep. And that's why, Stylebender was like, I'm not letting you fucking punch me in the face, idiot. You big swole up Ricky Martin. Fuck out.
Let's talk about more current events. Last week,
that was current. Uriah Hall.
No, but something really, really current. Last week, Don Fry said Dan Severn would beat Brock Lesnar. McCorkle, who do you think would have won? Prime Brock Lesnar or Prime Dan Severn?
Lesnar, because even if Lesnar couldn't take him down, he would beat him up standing up. Severn couldn't fight standing up to save his life.
Okay. So, wow.
Yeah, right. I don't see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Don Fry's probably partial a little bit. He's friends with him, but I don't. And he doesn't like Lesnar. But I hate to disagree with Fry, but yeah, no, I don't see that happening anyway.
You don't think Brock Lesnar? Well, Brock Lesnar, if you clock block Brock Lesnar, he does go rolling.
Yeah, but if you've seen Dan Severn's stand up, it's pretty bad, man.
Is it worse than Schaub's? Worse than Brendan Schaub's or no?
No. Brendan Schaub, well, it depends on which stand up. Isn't it crazy that a stand up comedian stand up fighting was better than his actual stand up comedy? That's crazy. Like you would think. I don't know.
You would think that he had something, but no.
People laughed at the fight. All right, so tonight on Bellator, our man Georgie Karakanyan, love Georgie, awesome fighter. He's fighting Bryce Logan, also a really good fighter, the LFA champion. That's going to be live on YouTube on MMA Junkie. You can watch that. I'm sure everyone's very interested. Also,
wait, are you being serious? Are you being serious?
Yes.
I thought you were making a joke. You can only see Bellator on YouTube.
No, you can watch the prelims on YouTube.
Awesome.
Also, Melvin Manhoef is fighting tonight on CBS Sports against Corey Anderson in Bellator. It's a good fight. I mean, Manhoef, even though he's like 75 years old and Shang used to babysit him, I still think that's a good fight.
You see where he threw the little jab at me? I didn't even. What happened?
Yes, of course. Yeah. You were like Uriah Hall. He's fighting Corey Anderson. I think Corey should win this based on wrestling and taking him down. But if Manhoef hits him, it's over. It's fucking lights out. Dude hits like a truck.
Wow. Corey
by the way,
Anderson is also like Corey's like 7 inches taller than Manhoef too. That's a big.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I was thinking about you, Sean. So you played college basketball, right?
Yeah.
Were you?
I was actually pretty good too. What's that?
Were you D1, D2, D3?
I went to a real small private high school. I didn't play AAU or anything like that. I started kind of late, and so I didn't have any. Went to a junior college because I didn't have any big offers coming out. But after a year at junior college, I had like over 50 Division I offers. The biggest one to be to play for Wisconsin in the Big Ten back when they were a top 15 team. They offered me a full ride. People, so funny. People always try to say, "Oh yeah, this and that." Like I'm lying. I put a copy of my letter of intent or my offer letter from them online one time to show. But yeah, I had Butler was recruiting me really heavily. A lot of them, a lot of bigger schools. And I was just trying to decide where to go at that point. But I had a day where the coach was mouthing off to me. I just wasn't in the mood. So I said something back to him, because I almost beat my coach up like 4 or 5 times because he liked to call you a pussy and stuff. If you I got elbowed in a game, split my eye open, needed 8 stitches, went to the hospital that night after we came back from a road trip, got my eye stitched, went straight to class, took my finals, went to practice after that. Didn't sleep. And I get elbowed in the eye again, or get a fingernail in the eye, pulls out 3 of the stitches, rips my eye open. And because I walked off the court for a second because I was bleeding everywhere, holding my eye, the coach said I was a pussy. We're being a pussy and get back out there. And I turned my eye swollen shut, keep in mind when this happened. I had a completely swollen shut eye, practicing with one eye. And then I almost went after him that time, and they kind of stood in between us. The assistant coach did because I was about to punch him in the face. Anyway, yeah, he hit me up and was mouthing off in a practice one day. I said something back, and it turned bad. He said if I didn't like it, I could just get my stuff and go. And I walked out and walked away from a full-ride scholarship and really showed him by a career of fighting. That really showed him that I should do that education for anything. Yeah. But yeah, I walked out on a full ride and gave up all those offers. I just was tired of basketball, and I have not regretted it a day since, man. I don't miss basketball. I don't play basketball. I don't even hardly watch it. I hated it after a year in college playing. Loved it before, hated it after playing in college.
Well, we got a guy who just joined our podcast, Bobby Nash. He was a Michigan State champion, wrestled for Michigan State, was undefeated going into the UFC. Everything had 1 loss. Had a rough little run in the UFC, not going to lie. But now he's back. He won his last fight, and he's fighting next week in the XFC. People don't even know about this, but the XFC is legit. They're on NBC Sports, and it's the first publicly traded MMA promotion. And only, actually. First and only. Bobby Nash, how are you, Bobby Nash?
I'm good, Adam, man. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on today.
Dude, I'm excited for you, man. I know after the UFC, I was reading about you. You took a break from fighting. You said you almost gave it up. What drew you back?
Well, yeah. I mean, after getting released from the UFC, I had a son, and I kind of just got into dad mode. Just got focused in on that, and was still training. And then I saw improvements in my game, and I had that urge to compete still. I was like, man, I'm not even 30 years old now. I was 29 when I took that fight.
And now he's gone. All right. Bobby Nash, please come back. I want to hear the rest of the story.
You should have cut me off like that on the basketball story I went 30 minutes ago. I thought you were actually asking me. I didn't know you were setting me up.
I was actually asking. I wanted to hear about it, for real.
Like then my third game, I had 4 rebounds. Like,
Nothing wrong with beating up coaches, man. I beat my football coach up. When I beat him up, I hit him in the head with my helmet. So that's the same shit.
So you understand. God, they suck. They think they can talk to you any way they want. It's funny.
Right. All right, so he's back. Bobby Nash, you're back.
Joe, I got to talk to you.
What's up?
Last week's in the books. It's gone. But now is the time to review the tape and prepare for this week. There is no better place to get in on all the action than with DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports. To add to this week's excitement, DraftKings has a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs. How cool is that? And if you haven't tried DraftKings yet, head to the App Store now because you don't want to miss this. Draft your lineup and feel the sweat like never before. Every run, pass, and catch means more with DraftKings. It's simple. Just pick your lineup, it's underneath the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. Nothing adds to the excitement of watching the game quite like having a shot at millions of dollars in prizes. And for everyone who's looking forward to this week's UFC 254, which is us, okay, be sure to check out DraftKings MMA contest. How cool is that? UFC 254 with DraftKings. Here's your call to action. Download the DraftKings app now and use code ROASTED. For a limited time, new users can get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes this week. Don't miss out on the Week 7 action, okay? Enter code ROASTED. They get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. That's code ROASTED, only at DraftKings. Make it rain. There's a minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Check it out.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm on my phone and I'm getting phone calls.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. So you were the Michigan State champion in high school. You were 63-1 as a senior. You were fucking badass. And then where did you go after that? Yeah.
So I wrestled. I went 63-1. I won a high school state title, Division I. From there, I actually went to a NAIA school, and I wrestled there for 1 year, got my grades up, and then I went to the Big Ten, Michigan State, and I competed there for 4 years. So I wrestled at Lindsey Wilson College for a year, then 4 years at Michigan State University.
How did you do at Michigan State?
I did well. I started there for 2 years. I made it to the Big Ten tournament my senior year. I went 2-2, and I beat a couple of guys who made it to the national tournament, but I took a couple of losses. It's close making it to the national tournament. I thought I was going to make it, but I thought I was going to get a wild card in. Unfortunately, it go. So it wasn't as great as expected, but hey, I wrestled in the Big Ten, which is the biggest conference in the country, and that was pretty cool.
Fuck yeah! Now, a lot of times in your fights, you just like to go punch for punch. You're a wild man out there. Now you're a little bit older, a little smarter. Are we going to use our wrestling a little more?
Well, that is something as I've, developed as a fighter, got a little older. I was like, you know what, I'm going to use all my tools. That being said, I've been putting a lot of work in my striking, and I don't know what it is, man. I just love knocking people out. I love striking. To me, it's like, it's just more of a fight. I love it, dude. It's hard to get away from it. So you're going to see me throwing some heavy hands this fight, but, don't be surprised. I will utilize my wrestling. There's no question about it.
Well, you have 3 brothers. Your 3 brothers all went Division I, right?
I have 2. Well, I have 3 brothers, but 2 brothers did go Division I. So yes, we have a strong wrestling background in my family.
Bunch of fucking killers in your family, man. Now tell me, what is the XFC? Because I'm into it. NBC Sports, but I feel like no one knows about it. Like, are you guys following the Bellator model of don't tell anyone when the fights are? That way, when you actually stumble upon it, you're excited about it because you don't know about it?
So XFC actually, this is the first time back, I hear in about like 4 or 5 years. a lot of their fights were actually in Brazil. And they've had a lot of big, tough guys come out there. Michael Pereira fought for them. A couple other big names fought for them. And, I absolutely love the tournament style they have.
Right.
And they just got a TV, like you said, they just got a TV deal with NBC Sports. So I really believe that this is a promotion that is going to make big waves. And I'm really happy to be a part of it because, I see a lot of potential. There's a ton of potential with this promotion, and you're going to see big things. And I plan on growing with this promotion as well.
Now, if you win the tournament, what do you get?
So if I win the tournament, I get a chunk of change, and then I win the welterweight title.
Because the people on this, they got Andre Suckumta, he's in there. Jessica Aguilar is in the XFC now. Danielle Taylor, ex-UFC star. Kurt Hollebach, also was in the UFC. They got what's his name? Kenneth Cross, another Michigan guy. Michigan top team. We have a lot of Michigan guys.
A couple Canadians in there too.
A lot of Canadians in here. They got a bunch of I'm looking at that Jose Cesares, and I don't know if that's Alex. I don't know who that guy is, but they got Michael Hill, who's from Canada, also a badass fighter. They signed a lot of people. Obviously, you're fighting this guy Spencer Jebb. What do you know about Spencer Jebb?
So Spencer Jebb, he's a really tough dude. He's most of his fights are like split decision wins or split decision losses. He's a grinder. He's fought a lot. His last fight was in Russia for M1. And I don't know if you know M1, but it's a very big promotion. And, so he's fought in World Series of Fighting, fought in M1, fought in big promotions, fought tough guys. He's got relatively good striking, but he's more of a grappler from what I've noticed. He's got good grappling, good wrestling, which I'm all right with because I think then, I'm hoping to go in there, knock him out, or I'm hoping to hurt him and him dive in for shots. Because if he dives in for a shot, I think that's going to favor me quite a bit.
And they also have Dan Severn is announcing it, as well as Pat Miletich. So, and they have they've had open tryouts, even though they've done a bunch of. This is I'm telling you, this thing's legit.
I'm checking out the website right now. There's a lot of fighters that I've seen before and other. But by the way, Spencer Jebb, you're gonna knock him the fuck out.
That's what I'm going. I'm coming guns blazing, dude. My last fight was a KO, and I want to keep that run. I want to keep that going. Everybody says I have who just fought? Who's that 55er who's a wrestler but throws hands? Why can't I remember his name? He's like my favorite fighter.
Justin Gaethje.
Right. Yeah, I reminded Justin Gaethje. I was like, dude, I love that. That's sweet.
Good for you, man. Well, listen, I'm excited for you, man. This is good because you were a great fighter. You took a couple lumps, but now you're on your way back. You got a kid, you got a hot wife. So life is good for you, man. So yeah, and then you got a cool nickname, Nashty, Bobby Nashty, which is great, man. So where can we watch and when can we watch?
So it's going to be live NBC Sports. You can watch it like NBC Sports, and I believe it's 9:00 Eastern time zone.
Yeah.
And then when?
Oh, November 11th, which is a Wednesday. It's 6 days from now, and that is also Veterans Day.
Nice. And you were saying the weight's coming off. So you're fighting at 170, right?
I'm fighting at 170. The weight is coming off. I feel really good, man. I think this weight cut is going fantastic. Everything's going well. I'm extremely excited to fight, and I'm just going to have a lot of fun, man.
Right.
I love it.
Looks like a good tournament for you, man. I'm looking at some of the other people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Carson Hartman, I've seen him before, and yeah, he's serious.
There's some tough guys in the tournament. There's some tough in the tournament, but I think I favor very well. I'm going in there and plan on winning this without a doubt, hands down. But there's some tough guys.
I love it, Bobby Nash. Well, thank you, man, and I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Awesome, man. Adam, thanks for having me.
Thank you, man.
See you, bud. Good luck.
Thank you.
That looks legitimate, man. I'm looking at the website. It does. I mean, the fact that it has NBC attached to it, is not bad. That is not bad at all.
Another guy we got here, Henry Corrales, who I love how I don't even tell you guys who's on the show. But Henry Corrales is coming off a huge win against Brandon Gertz. This dude's a monster, a fucking monster from Arizona. Another guy who is originally from California, a great wrestler, wrestled in college, and now just kicking ass, man, over in Bellator. Henry, how are you?
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me. I never wrestled.
Never wrestled. Oh, well, you wrestled. In my head, you wrestled. But
yeah, he's just making up shit. He's a carpenter.
Now, Brandon Gertz, that was a great fight. Brandon, that was a tough fight for you because you were ranked higher than him, but that's a dangerous guy. Why did you take that fight?
I'll take any fight. I'll fight anybody. Doesn't matter.
Nice. He landed some shots. Did he ever hurt you or no?
No. I kind of seen everything coming. So it's for me, it's the punches that don't hurt, that I don't see, that have hurt me in the past. But yeah, that's fine.
And then I actually saw you recently. You want to go down to 135 and fight Juan Archuleta again?
Yeah, I'll be going down to 135. Wow.
I mean, you're ripped. You don't have any fat on you. What are you gonna do?
I just lose a couple more pounds of size, and then just do a little bit more water cut, because my last cut was just so dialed in. So I just need to lose a couple more pounds of size, and I'll.
I love it, man. Well, that was a war, dude. I mean, like, they threw you to the wolves in Bellator. You just had the guys that you fought and the guys you beat. Even the guys like Nod Lahat. I mean, they even like some of those guys. Those are some tough guys. The Aaron Pico fight was one of the best fights I've ever seen, because everyone kept saying Pico, and then you took him out. That fight could not have went how you thought it was gonna go, did it?
Well, the Pico fight and this last fight was a good example of what happens if you try to fight me. You know what I mean? Because that's what I do. Like I'm trying to fight these motherfuckers, and my last two fights before that, I think the formula is there for try to get a victory for me is try to avoid the fight, any fight as much as possible. Run from this guy. Avoid the fight, and you'll be good. So yeah. So I've been. That was a big eye opener for me, those two fights, and I've been adjusting accordingly with my training.
Who do you think wins, by the way, Caldwell or McKee?
Well, Caldwell's a homie, dude. So I kind of would rather have him win, but I don't know. Caldwell probably.
It's gonna be a good fight. That's why they're not hyping that fight enough, because that's gonna be a war. You got AJ McKee's undefeated. He's beating everybody fucking bad. Caldwell's a national champion. He's also beaten a lot of good guys, great guys. That's going to be a great fight. I can't wait for that fight.
Yeah, that's going to be a great fight. Same.
Holy shit. I'm looking at the guys you beat. Georgi Karakanyan, who's fighting tonight. That guy's a monster. You beat Cody Bollinger, very underrated fighter. Cody's a tough guy. And then you lost to Pitbull, Sanchez, and Strauss. Those are your first three fights in Bellator, which is fucking crazy. I mean, at that time, Strauss was the champ, or he was a monster. Pitbull's was a split decision. And Sanchez split decision. I thought you won that fight, actually. That was very close. And
Same.
And then the Pitbull fight, you were winning, right? And then you got caught.
Yeah, and that fight was like 12 days notice, and I was coming off surgery. So not only did I take that fight on short notice, I got fucking like 6 teeth smashed out of my mouth with the Sanchez fight during the fight. So I wasn't really training for like 5 months, and I was in the gym for like 1 week, dude. And Pitbull tweeted some shit like, "Where's all the real fighters at? Nobody wants to accept this fight," because everybody was turning down the short notice fight. And I was like, "Fuck this guy, I'll fight him." And I fucking hit up my agent, and they made it happen. So I was like, "Cool."
Wow. Man, you got that Mexican fucking warrior spirit, dude. Like,
dude, I fucking love this shit. I've been fighting my whole fucking life, and I'm just really grateful that I'm not going to jail for this shit anymore. And I haven't been in jail since I started training, because dude, I'll fight somebody over a bad look on the streets. Like, I just love it,
How long were you in jail for?
Which time? But I've never been convicted of any felonies. You know, I've been charged with a couple things here and there growing up in my past, but everything's all good now, man.
Yeah. Does Bellator like go to courts and recruit people? It seems like everybody that we talk to.
That and like senior citizen homes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, because like Juan Archuleta was saying, we had Juan on. Juan did like a year for like stealing someone's bike or something. That was
Juan
the
who?
Juan Archuleta.
No way, that he did a year?
Yeah, in college. Like, stealing in like, where was it? It was like in Indiana, or he went to Purdue.
Yeah.
Quit the wrestling team. He stole someone's bike at a frat house or something, and like we took it home and did like a year in prison for that.
Well deserved.
You know, usually guys that do a year aren't so bitch made like he is. So I'm surprised. That's crazy.
Juan's a good guy. You're a good guy.
He's a bitch though, dude. So whatever. I'm not talking about him personally. I'm talking about the 15 minutes he spent in the cage with me. He ran like a bitch. That's it.
Do you think it was just a case of you guys didn't match up well?
No, it's a case of him being a bitch and not wanting to fight. That's it. It's that simple, dude.
Yeah.
He ran, you know what I mean? He ran, dude, his mannerisms being locked in, the eye contact, bro, there's just, the guy wanted no part of me, dude. And that's it. You can't say that, he did, maybe you could say he did what he did to win, but he didn't fucking win. I dropped him. I got the only takedown of the fight. He ran. He wasn't being elusive. He wasn't being slick. He straight up fucking ran. I controlled 100% of the ring. And then he gets up on the cage after the fight like he won something. Homie, nobody won that fight. There was no fight. Whatever fight there was, that was all me. So that dude. He's gonna get it.
What he's saying is like some people run and some people they got bitch-like qualities.
Were you surprised how good he looked against Patchy Mix?
Did he look good or did Patchy Mix, slow down? Because he got ragdolled nasty those first 2 rounds, and Patchy Mix looked a little limited the last couple rounds.
Right. Now, are you training with Cejudo in Arizona?
Not training with him personally, but we got Eddie Child's his coach and my coach, and his brother is my wrestling coach.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys have some squad in Arizona. It's like now the fight capital of the world between your gym and Crouch's gym and Drakkar Klose's garage. It sounds like, this is some gym. Some little, I don't know what, So I guess you guys were all at Crouch's, and then Eddie Cha left, and then a lot of you guys left to go with Eddie Cha. Is there like a rivalry?
I left with Eddie Cha because that's my dog. I came to AZ with Eddie Cha. My lady started some doctoral program out here, and Eddie Cha was coincidentally taken off at the same time. And I was like, well, dude, my broad's leaving me and my coach. I was like, I'm fucking out of here. I left California too.
Okay. Got it. But is there like, you guys ever like show up at the same, is it like in Cobra Kai?
No. But I would still hang out with those guys like all the time, dude.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Now, who did you vote for?
I didn't vote, dude.
Hey man,
you realize that Arizona is going to come down to like one vote.
It's going to come down to Henry's vote. That's a shame.
If they Henry would have voted. God damn.
I'm extremely uneducated, dude. So I don't want to just throw out a blind vote.
Right. Well, I like the fact. I want to say something, man. I like the fact that you're like, I don't give a fuck. You want to let's go. And there's some fighters I think that are so strategic, but you still got to have that I don't give a fuck, let's fight mode. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that. But then there's a thing about being strategic, and there's a thing about just running, and avoiding a fight. There's nothing strategic about fucking not trying to fight somebody. Right. It's not like somebody being like Floyd Mayweather. That's strategic, dude. You're seeing shit. You're fucking avoiding damage. That's fucking good, dude. But there's a difference between running and, these judges these days. It seems like I've seen on multiple occasions that, they got the shit fucked up.
Well, one judge had it for Gertz, 30-27. What went through your head that? Were you like, what the fuck?
I was like, here we go again, dude. I was like, these judges don't like me. Fuck.
I mean, did you think something happened when you went to jail? Did you beat up one of the judge's sons or something, or rob their house?
Fuck, you never know, dude.
Probably when he was wrestling in college.
By the way, this is Sean McCorkle here. The guy who tapped Mark Hunt in 1 minute, and then Shang,
nice.
Shang Forbes, a hilarious comic, and Ween Dog, who's a man of mystery. Obviously, we have Henry Corrales here. So your next fight, you want it to be for a title against Juan?
Yeah, that'd be nice, dude. That'd be nice. I don't know who else is at 30. I haven't looked at the landscape, dude, and seen, but it just seems like who else is gonna fight that guy at 35? That that could make some noise and make a splash.
Now the tattoo of the gate on you, is that what is that exactly? Is that just a?
It's a cage lion, and then it says Aztec Warrior across it. But dude, when I first got that piece done, I just got the cage, and my chick was just clowning me, bro. Because it just looked. She's like, dude, it looks like your titties are brought up. It looks like you're wearing a lace bra, and I was like, fuck. I just expedited the process of getting the fucking line done in there. It's a couple weeks later.
Okay, now did you see Kevin Lee's new tattoo?
No.
Ween Dog, can we bring it up? Because it's almost done. It's on his Instagram. It's the back of his head, but it's a tattoo like you've never seen. All right, so.
Who?
Kevin Lee.
Oh, fuck, that looks serious.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what it is, though. Nobody knows what this is.
That looks crazy.
What are our thoughts on this, Shang?
I think it looks fucking stupid. It looks like Hellraiser did it. I'm not gonna say this shit to him face to face, but that shit looks stupid. Fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, dude, tattoos are fucking retarded. Like, you let anybody doodle on your body, like, that's sick.
I have 12, but I made sure they were specific things that apply.
What is that? He's going bald, and this is a way for him to people like to think that he has hair or something.
Well, you don't lose your hair in the back of the head first. You get the little cul-de-sac.
That's true.
You're right.
If Adam, if he doesn't like that tattoo, he can always accidentally get a Nazi eagle put over it, like I did.
Oh God, yeah.
I got a Nazi eagle put over over my ex-wife's name, not knowing it was a Nazi eagle. That was awesome. Yeah. And my grandparents are Jewish, so.
Oh damn.
Works out.
That just that just makes. I don't know, man. I mean, but sometimes he does weird shit anyway. Good wrestler though.
Now, Henry. So according to Israel Adesanya, the reason his left hip was falling off during his last fight was because of marijuana. I guess it was laced with steroids. But McCorkle, any thoughts on this, Henry?
Maybe he got so high. Maybe he got so high he let someone suck on his nipple for 3 weeks or something. Because marijuana doesn't give you gyno, man. It'd be nice if that were the case, but
that was awkward, dude. I was like, dude, they should blur that. They should blur that titty. Fuck. But
he's like, they should put a cage between that. So, no.
I did when I hit puberty, my nipples got kind of fat when I was like a kid, and somebody was telling me it's because you smoked weed before you hit puberty. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know that either.
I don't think that's
why. That's why I got hairy palms too. It's because I smoked weed.
It's funny. I pulled up one of your fights, man. I put up it's a Bellator 208. It's just weird, man. It's like when you talk to somebody and they're mad chill, then you see this fight. I go, what the fuck? You were like murdering this. It was like pistol whipping a baby. I mean, damn, dude.
Dude, his fights are awesome. Your fights are awesome.
I like the fact you're such a you come forward like yo, let's go. And I say, even though I like Justin Gaethje, I think he didn't do that when he fought Khabib. He didn't move forward the way he normally does. He did leg kicks, but he didn't move forward though. Come on, man, he didn't move forward like he normally does.
All right, well, let's talk about the fights this Saturday. Sanchez versus Glover Teixeira. Corrales, who do we like?
Oh man, I haven't seen the other guy fight too much. Is that the guy with the sword on his chest?
Yes.
It's a hammer, I think. It's a giant hammer.
Oh, I'll go with that guy, dude, because he has a cool tattoo like Kevin Lee.
Shang, who do we like in this fight?
I can't remember his name either, but I'm going to go with the hammer.
Thiago Santos.
Thiago Santos. But the fact that he went with Jones, that I thought he put a hurt on him a little bit.
He did. McCorkle?
Same. I thought he beat Jones, and I think he'll beat Teixeira pretty decisively.
Ween Dog.
I have Santos via KO in the first round.
Same here. Andre Arlovski versus Tanner Boser. Does everyone know who Tanner Boser is?
Yeah.
All right. No one knows that? Okay. So we'll get that. Ian Heinisch versus Brandon Allen.
Lauren, it's Adam Hunter.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Lauren. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I don't know. You guys know who Ramiz Brahmani is fighting? Max Griffin. Anthony Burchik's back. I'm excited about that. He's fighting Gustavo Lopez. He's a fellow Arizonian. He's taking this fight on short notice. But since a lot of these guys, I feel like we're not going to know. I mean, I'll know because I'm a nerd. But
it's one of those cards, man.
If you're reading, are you reading the XFC card? Because that's what it sounds like.
Darren Elkins.
Yeah, but like no one's going to know who's going to fight. So I guess we'll just talk about some fights that are some bigger ones. Pitbull versus Cavajo.
Pitbull.
All right, there we go. Here we go. Dos Anjos versus Islam Makhachev.
Makhachev.
Even better. Makhachev versus Dos Anjos. UFC. That's a week from now. Who do we like?
Dos Anjos.
Dos Anjos? Yeah. Why?
Because I don't even know who the other guy is.
He's 18-1. He's like Khabib's best friend.
Okay.
Trains at AKA with DC.
Probably that guy then.
Yeah, he's gonna win. They give Dos Anjos the worst possible matchups. Like his past 10 fights, dude. Let's see. Michael Chiesa, Leon Edwards, Kevin Lee, Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. It's like he fights the hardest dudes in the UFC. And this might be his most difficult matchup in a long time.
November 21st, we got Division Figueroa, who's the champion, against Alex Perez. That's the main card. That's the main fight on that card.
Alex Perez, dude. That's my homie from SoCal.
That's a big event. Nice. Alex Perez, you like him over Division?
I do. All
right. Also on that card, Valentina Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia. I got Shevchenko. You?
That's an easy one, yeah.
Corracle, you?
Same.
Shang?
Same. I wouldn't fight her. I mean, I outweigh her by at least 50, 70 pounds. So.
Yes. And then also on that card, Paul Craig, who is the guy that pulls up all the submissions right with 1 second left.
Yeah.
Against Shogun Hua. Can't believe Shogun's still fighting.
Yeah. I thought his last fight was supposed to be his retirement fight.
Oh man, he needs to join that Mike Tyson league. By the way, Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. Corrales. So who wins this fight?
Mike Tyson versus Roy?
Yeah.
Tyson. He's bigger, right? He's way bigger.
No.
He's bigger. You like Roy Jones in this?
Wider, but he's not. I mean, Roy's probably got a longer arm length.
No, McCorkle, you work for Roy Jones Jr. What's he like?
I think Tyson will win. I actually didn't corner Roy, but I sat in his corner for his last fight. And Roy's an awesome dude, man, but he has, as he should, he's slowed at 50, man. This Tyson, but I know it's just him working out, hitting pads, but Tyson looks as fast as ever, man. It is kind of creepy. I know there's a lot of HGH in there, but good Lord, that dude he's on another level. I don't know. He's doing something, man. I don't know.
I think he just motivated. That's all.
No. Sean, have you ever taken HGH?
Have I ever?
Yeah.
Not since this morning.
Now, do you inject it, or how do you? Is it a cream? What is it?
Yeah, no. It comes like in it's diabetic size needles. Comes in vials, and you can get it from AIDS patients. I've heard. You just mix it with sterile water and it shoots in your stomach. Just I'm not a diabetic, but got my fingers crossed open for it eventually. But no, I'm not diabetic, but it's the diabetic needles. You shoot it just under the skin in your stomach. And I mean, it varies. It runs you, if you're going to do it legally, probably $5,000 to $10,000 a month. If you do it illegally, probably about $700.
Now, do you have to aim for a vein, or you just?
No, it's just under the skin. They have you do it in your stomach because there's fat there that'll absorb into. You don't want to go in a vein with it for sure, but just under the skin.
Wow, man!
It's a wonderful thing.
And you actually took it today, for real?
Yeah. I started back on today. I'm gonna do if you were a bodybuilder, not a bodybuilder, if you're trying to do it athletically, you would probably take 3 to 4 IUs a day. I'm just taking it 1 IU a day just because it just helps, man. You feel you don't hurt. You're not as sore, speeds your metabolism up. It helps you heal, like bruises heal faster. Not that I'm going around getting bruised all the time, despite my domestic abuse history, or being abused, I mean. Nothing funnier than a domestic abuse joke off the top of your head.
I mean,
right?
but you said you were trying to lose 100 pounds. Is this going to help?
Yeah, growth will speed up. It'll help. It'll speed my metabolism up. Probably don't actually need to lose 100, but maybe 60. But yeah, speed your metabolism up, and it actually increases lean muscle mass, so it should help all the way around. Makes you hold a little bit of water, but that's life.
Henry, when was the last time you took steroids?
I don't.
Fuck, I don't.
See how you trying to say that shit?
Curtis Blades versus Derek Lewis. I got Curtis Blades all the time. That's all day long. November 28th. That's on Thanksgiving weekend. Henry, who do you like in that fight?
I like Derek Lewis because he's funnier.
Yeah.
I like Derek Lewis.
But you think he's going to beat Curtis Blades? Come on, really?
Real? You asked me, and I'm telling you, yeah.
Sean McCorkle?
I think Blades will take him down and win, but I sure hope Derek wins. It's weird that he'll take him down so easy. He has been wrestling his whole life, like Henry, so he should be able to get him off his feet, I think. So.
Got it. And then Ween Dog in that fight, who do we like?
I mean, Francis Ngannou knocked out Curtis Blades twice. Derek Lewis, I don't know if it's debatable if Derek Lewis is a harder hitter than Francis, but either way, Derek Lewis for sure has a knockout chance. But I think Curtis Blades, if he just wrestles, he'll win.
December 12th, Amanda Nunes taking on Megan Anderson, main event. I got Nunes all day. In that one.
Yeah, that's one of those ones you go, come on, man.
Yeah.
No, you got to admit, man, I don't know why she doesn't get pubbed more. She's a monster.
She doesn't have monster dance partners, that's why.
That's true.
What it is?
Well, I mean, Cyborg.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, well, that was a while ago.
Yeah, I think that, but if it just seems like she walks through most people, other than Cyborg, she walked through her.
Also on that, she killed fucking Cyborg. Also on that card, Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling.
That's a good one.
That's going to be a good fight. I like Aljamain in that fight.
Yep. Same.
Now, Henry, did you ever get into any jail fights?
Well, when you're a Mexican in SoCal and you go to jail, you have to pick between being a Southsider or a Paisa. Paisa means you were born in Mexico, and I wasn't born in Mexico, so I had to represent the South Side. And when you're asked to do stuff in there, you can't say no.
Not like you can go, maybe.
Oh, that was the most scary answer I've ever heard. So what did they? I feel like I'm watching Gangland right now. So what did they have you do?
I don't like to speak of criminal past behavior in detail.
Okay. All right. Allegedly. All right. So they were like, Henry, will you shank that fool over there? Like, was it like that?
You said allegedly.
that helps everything.
Henry, did you ever allegedly murder anyone in prison so we can try you for it?
You guys aren't curious about these stories at all?
No, if he says that's something you want to know. Somebody tell me I don't really want to talk on that. And you go,
well, I'll say a couple things how silly it can be in there.
Right.
If a Southsider is sitting next to somebody on the bus that's a bit of a different race, that's not white, then that could be means for action, or using the restroom next to somebody of a different color. That could be problems too. So just little petty stuff like that. So you can only imagine how much conflict goes on in there.
Oh my God. Wow.
Henry, did you ever hear the story about big panties?
No.
There's a legend that goes around. I know it's in Indiana, but I know it's a couple other states either. But one time I was at a Honduran house party. It's a long story. And they were asked me if I've been locked up before, and I said no, and they all started laughing at me like I was a nerd for not having been locked up, right? And so they told me about big panties. Apparently, there's this real big guy. He's probably African-American, but he's a real – I'm just going to the stats, you know. But no, he's a real big dude. And supposedly he'll come to you cool at first and be like, hey, man, I think you look good. Can I suck your dick? Like he'll come up and approach people. And if you say no, he knocks you out and sucks it anyway. And so the way it was described to me is the guy said, yeah, dude, so you get knocked out and you wake up and you're gay. Like I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever heard, that it just made him gay all of a sudden because the guy had sucked his dick. But he said he's not aggressive about it at first. He's cool. Like he'll try to smooth talk you. He said, but if you ain't going for it, you're getting knocked out. And then I talked to like 3 different dudes I knew that had been locked up. When I heard that story, I texted them. I said, hey, dude, is there a dude named Big Panties in prison? They're like, dude, that dude will knock you out and suck your dick. Swear to God. All 3 of them replied the same thing, don't know each other. I was dying laughing. One of them said, he took a swing at me. Luckily, I got away, man. He was about to make me gay. And I was like, I don't know how that works. But it's the greatest story ever.
What's that joke? I'm not gay. You suck my dick.
Right, yeah.
How does that make you gay?
I'm not gay, but my cellmate is. I don't know.
Oh, look, Henry, man, look where you came from, dude. You were in jail. You had some shit, and now look at you. You're like #1 title. You're killing it. You got a house, beautiful wife. You have kids?
No kids.
No kids. You're Mexican. So I mean, you got so much. You got so much going for you, man.
That was so fucked up what you just did.
How many? Come on. I mean,
I know I'm fucking with you, but it's like
a valid observation.
Okay.
Valid observation. Queen is not.
Your wife's Mexican too, right?
No. I call her my milk of magnesia, dude. She's so fucking pale.
Oh God.
And we live in AZ, and she dude, she can't leave the house without sunblock. It's funny.
Wow.
Don't be peeing next to her. I'll tell you that. It's dangerous. What I've heard.
Well, look, man, you should be really proud of where you came from, dude. I mean, look where you are now. I mean, you're killing the game, bro.
Right.
Dude, I blame my teammates and the sport of mixed martial arts. You know that combination right there will just mold you into it'll morph you into a different person, and I'm super grateful for them.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Definitely. Well, I hope you get that rematch against Juan. I know I like Juan. I like you guys. I'm hoping for a better fight than last time. That won't be hard to accomplish. So you're a monster, man. Thanks for coming to the show when I was in Arizona. That was really cool that you came, by the way.
Dude, thanks for having us. I didn't think you were gonna be that funny, dude. Can I say that nice?
Wait, did you think you were gonna be on Brendan Schaub's podcast?
Dude, I was fucking blown away, dude. I was like, fuck, dude, this guy's the best stand-up I've ever seen, dude. I couldn't believe it.
Thank you, man. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Well,
and your tweets are fucking, bro. Like, I love your tweets while the fights are going on, dude. You're so fucking sharp, just on it, dude. Right away, I'm just like, fuck.
Well, thank you, man. That means a lot. I'm a big fan of yours as well. Stay safe. Give your best to the family, my best to the family, and thanks for everything, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. You and your people.
Good luck, buddy.
Take care.
Take care.
Later.
You guys have a feeling that guy's like one of the Lost Diaz brothers or something? It's like his first couple answers, I was like, is this Nate Diaz? Good Lord.
He had that same thing, like, fuck you, bro, let's fight. But you know what? Since I knew we're doing a show, I gotta ask you guys: am I the only one that this last fight last weekend? I just really think this fighter needs to just stop.
Oh yeah, everyone who watched the fight thinks that. No one.
They're going, what the fuck did Dana White let him fight for?
Because how do you not let the guy fight? The guy wants to fight.
You just go, man, dude. No, he shouldn't have fought, dude.
Look,
you know what? One thing I don't like, man, I'm being honest. And I like Dana a lot, and I know he doesn't make all the matches necessarily, but they say on one side of the mouth they're saying this guy needs to quit fighting. Then they put him in with a young guy who's going to murder him. You know, like why not? If Shogun wants to fight and Anderson wants to fight, and they're both old, then match them up. You know what I mean? But it's like they're always like, we don't want this old guy to fight, but we will build a young star.
Well, they're not giving Shogun a guy that can really punch. No offense to that guy they're fighting. The guy like wins with like 1 second left by like.
Yeah, but why do they always do that? Sean's right. Why do they always seem like they
don't always do that, but
they do it a lot.
I don't know why they do it enough. But more importantly, Tito Ortiz won his election. He is now a councilman in California. In Huntington Beach, Tito won city council.
Get the fuck out of here.
I swear.
Tito Ortiz is Councilman Tito Ortiz.
Yeah.
He's going to be your guy's governor before long.
Hope so.
Don't you say that. Don't say awesome. Don't you know?
Green Dog, you would vote for Tito?
Hell yeah, dude. Anyone is better than Gavin Newsom. And you know this for a fact.
That might be true.
Okay, I'll give you. Okay, Wayne, I will give you that one.
Thank you.
Even though I said Trump's going to win, I think he's going to come back and win. I don't want him to. And I think he's full of shit. And so is Mitch McConnell, full of shit. And but I agree with you on that 1,000%.
Shang, what do you think will happen if they do declare Trump the winner in a month after everything? Do you think people are going to go crazy and start the protests and riots again? Or do you think everybody's just so beaten down they're going to accept it at this point?
I think that, no, but the riots, what they say riots, or the protest was not about Trump. It was about police brutality and shooting unarmed blacks.
1,000%.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll say, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So I mean, not those riots, but I mean, do you think people will start protesting the decision and going crazy? Or you think... I've wondered, I don't know, because I always wondered if Trump says he got ripped off, I almost wonder if the redneck contingent will come out and riot.
No, they're not. They don't riot. They don't seem, it does seem like Trump protest, people that like protest, they come, they chant, they don't like, it seems like Shang said, the rioters are when a cop like kills a black person.
Right.
And
well, that's what, man, that's the one thing.
And then there's marches, which are mostly peaceful. And then Antifa shows up and fucking starts blowing shit up.
Antifa is not an organization. It's a description. It's anti-fascist.
Dude, come on, Shang.
Antifa's not an organization. It's just not.
Shang, they're an organization. They're
not. The thing I don't understand is the election's not even over. There's already people in Portland throwing a fit. They're saying kill Trump, kill Biden.
Shang,
I'm like, what do people want, man? Like, what is going on?
All those people that are showing up, right, with Molotov cocktails and wearing all black. And in Portland and all these cities and like starting fires and shooting people. What are they? Because they seem organized.
You know what they are? They're fucking idiots.
Okay, fine. Okay, but they're seem to be on some kind of newsletter that goes to them that and they seem to call themselves Antifa. So what? Those are all just individuals. It's not a collective group.
No, it's not a collective group. It's not.
You guys want to hear a really interesting fact?
Sean, do you think Antifa is a collective group, as an organization?
Depends on I mean, if you think Bloods or Crips or like, it depends on how you look at it. Like they're not the mafia where they probably did an oath of membership or whatever, but I think they do identify them. I mean, I think it's self-proclaimed if you want to be Antifa the way you can be a self-proclaimed Republican. I do find it odd. Two things. One, I've been told if you go to Antifa.com, it goes to Joe Biden's website.
That's
and
true.
If you go to retardedfaggot.com, it goes to Brendan Schaub. That's a true thing. So
okay, see, I've seen that website. You're right. You're right on that one. No, I just looked it up. No, it's not in any way, shape, or form.
Ween Dog, is Antifa an organization?
Come on, bro.
You know what we was going to say.
Ween Dog.
You have to clarify, like, what are you requiring it for it to be an organization? Like a membership, a president, or I mean, what are the?
It seems like they're a group.
It's a group. It's a group for sure.
It's a group of people that are identified with a common ideology that is destructive, and they're idiots, and they seem to want either communism or Marxism, and they're going around protesting in a way that's not legal and destructing things, and they're doing it on the backs of Black Lives Matter and people that are actually protesting, for the most part, extremely peaceful. Not always.
I agree with all that.
But for the most part.
But it's not like it would, like if you say that Antifa showed up and then you look at the white nationalist group that showed up in Charlottesville, they were absolutely a group.
Yeah, but there's a lot more Antifa than those Charlottesville people.
Okay. Well, I you know what?
I'm not defending those people. Those people suck.
No. Hey, you know what? I see them as a bunch of idiots or fucking idiots that get together and do idiot shit.
Yeah.
You could look, you know what? There's people we call comics, and they're really online comics. They're not really stand-up comedians, right? There's some people that just online, and then there's other people on the job, and then there's other people that actually get up on the mic and know how to rock a crowd. Then there's other people that are really good online, but they call them comedians. They're not comedians.
No, I hear you. Look. Obviously, I don't think that you would ever defend Antifa or.
Not at all. I think they're fucking idiots. I think people who riot are fucking idiots. I think people who peacefully protest should not be maced. They should not be tear gassed.
1,000%.
Okay, so especially for a photo op with a Bible that you hold upside down, I just think
that was also wrong.
Okay, what I'm saying is I would just like the other side. I'm not saying that Democrats are fucking goofy too. People who are left are goofy too. I would like to see the other side just say, "Yeah, man, that was wrong." They never do. Never.
No. I look.
Name the Republicans that came out against this fucking idiot saying, "I won the election," even though I think he's going to win. He said,
"Here's the problem. I think that the people that are getting heard are the people that are like far left and far right that are just yelling shit online." But I think that most people, which is like I think 80% of the country, are pretty rational people, and they don't actually like agree with that, or they're not actually for that. I think that most people they can see both sides to issues, but I think the people that are being heard are the ones that are just either so pro Trump or so pro AOC or something that it's just like they're the ones being heard because they're screaming the loudest. And then everyone else is saying, "Oh, well, look how stupid they are. The Republicans are all like this, and Democrats are all like that." But that's not true. It's like 5% of the actual Democrats that are like so for the Green New Deal and want socialism.
Right, it's not yet.
That. And I think that 5% of the Republicans are like, going out there, abortion, protesting Planned Parenthoods or something, and I think that those are the loudest people. But I think
you think the majority of Americans are rational?
Yes, I do.
Wow, you have so much faith in,
Dude, me and you have been to every single state in this country doing stand-up comedy, right?
Luckily, yeah. And
most people laugh at our jokes, which are pretty rational jokes. I mean, it's usually like 2 people walk out of our shows, 3 people. I think most people are rational. I think most Americans are rational.
I think play devil's advocate. How do you explain the people laughing at Schaub's comedy?
Exactly.
They're not.
Boom. Thank you very much. That was, you know what? This is a good show, but that one, bam, that was fucking.
I do. You don't think that? You don't
think
unified
us all.
Green Dog, Sean. You don't think most people are rational?
Most people are rational.
Most people are rational. No.
I think that a lot of people, like you said, the majority of people that are making the decisions are irrational.
I think a lot of people voted for Trump, honestly, because of the lockdown and because of schools. I think people want schools reopened. I think people want to leave their fucking house. And you got Trump saying, reopen the schools, reopen the country. I think a lot of people voted for him because of that.
I heard a really smart guy say that this election was going to come down to, do you want to wear masks or do you not want to wear masks? Because the people that don't want to wear them are probably going to vote Republican. The people that don't mind and want other two are probably going to vote Democrat. Not everybody, obviously, in every case, but they were saying that that's typically like that is the lockdown played a huge deal. Like, are you ready to move forward and not be afraid? Or are we still going to go back to lockdown? And that's the way everybody thinks we should go longer with the lockdowns, thinks we should wear masks. All that will probably vote.
But I also think it hurt Trump. Where it hurt Trump, I think, is that I've never seen a guy campaign like Trump. I mean, he did 6 3-hour campaign rallies or 2-hour rallies in one day.
I want to know what he's on. Give me some of that.
And Shang, and that was in Florida, right? And he won Florida big.
Oh no! Yeah,
could you imagine if he would have went to every state like he did the last time?
You know what?
Doing that?
It's all a clusterfuck. I just want to see Stylebender fight Jones. That's all I want.
Can you imagine? That would be, man, I wish. That'd be
I want Stylebender to fight Jones. And the little things in life.
Okay. Here's a question. 2 questions. Who wins in a fight, Biden or Trump?
They both fall down and break their hip. What are you talking about?
But who do you think wins?
Don't start that shit. You got to admit.
They both have a 1 week training camp. Who wins? For real?
I think Trump.
I say Trump based on size of the way he moved when he clotheslined Vince McMahon. He looked like he was fairly agile for a man in his 60s.
And I just think he could do it again. Now he'll get hurt. He'll get up slow. But I think Biden won't even be able to.
Okay.
But we don't know about Biden's stand up. Okay. We know about his background and stand up.
It does seem like Trump has more endurance based on rallying.
Yeah.
He's got better stamina.
And he's on cocaine. I think that.
Now, John Jones, does he have who has a better chance of beating John Jones? Israel Adesanya or Stipe? McCorkle.
Stipe by far. Adesanya will be on his back so fast against Jones, he won't even know what to think, man. Like, I surely wouldn't think Jones would stand up with him. And Jones took down Daniel Cormier, so he could beat him. Him and Stipe, man, I know Stipe. I like him. I'm friends with him. Man, I don't know. Jones is so good, man. He is just so good.
Come on.
I don't know. They're about the same size, too. I've been with them both. They're about the same height. And Stipe only walks like 240 or so, 235 in shape. And John probably walks at 225 or so. So they're really, John Jones is, I wouldn't be shocked if he's taller than 6'4", man. It looked eye level to me when I met him. And I'm 6'6", 6'7". So if he's 6'5", 6'6", it wouldn't surprise me.
Shang, what do you think?
I think that Stipe, without question. Don't get me wrong. I do want to see Stylebender because they're talking so much shit online. I love that they are like shooting for each other. Not just to talk shit, but to shoot for each other. And that skill for skill would be a nice fight. But I think Stipe would give him a better fight. I think he would give him a better fight. I think he would defend on takedowns better. Stylebender, I don't know. I haven't seen him get with a wrestler that's going to fuck him up.
Martin Vetterosi took him down. That guy is from Italy who has had zero wrestling.
So that's why I think Stipe would be the better. Right now. Stipe deserves it. Stipe deserves.
Green Dog, who wins that fight?
Stipe deserves it.
Which one specifically? Jones versus Izzy or Stipe?
Both.
I think Izzy. I think he might be a better striker than Jones, but Jones is just bigger, dude. And I think he would be able to out-grapple Izzy, so I think Jones wins that fight. I think Stipe versus Jones would be a lot more competitive than Jones versus Izzy. I honestly don't know how Jones does in that fight, just based off of his last 3 fights. Whenever we think about John Jones, we tend to, reflect on 25-year-old John Jones when he was just dominating everybody severely. And he hasn't been that John Jones in his past 3 fights, even though he's won on paper a lot of these fights. Dominic Reyes, Thiago Santos, people are giving the fight to his opponents. So I don't know. Stipe is, still looking rock solid. So I would lean towards Stipe in the Stipe Jones fight.
Wow. Okay.
That's a good argument.
Good analysis. Now, Dog, have you trained at all in the last 3 months?
No, I do 10 kettlebell swings and then I call it a day.
Got it. Shang, have you been? Now, Shang, recently you put online, you had a struggle with your weight.
Yeah.
Have you been? What have you been doing since then?
Oh, I've been going after it. I'm gonna do it later today after I go to the bank and find out who the fuck got my card. But no, it's been going really well. I got a lot of good suggestions. Changed my diet. I think getting back just without gyms, it's hard for me. I was so motivated by going to a gym and so much good equipment. So I just bought stuff for home. I bought a bunch of stuff. And I'm just doing it here. So it's been going really well.
I've actually been doing the Antifa workout where you throw a cocktail every day. I
figured Shang would be in shape from all the I thought Shang would be in good shape from all the campaigning he's been doing for Trump. But I have been telling people I put on 40 pounds. I did really, but I've been telling them that. I said I was gaining weight for a role in a movie. And then when they said what movie, I said, well, not a specific one. I just figured they need a fat guy in a movie. But that's a Norm Macdonald joke. I stole that from Norm Macdonald. That's a great joke.
Sean, have you been working out?
Yeah, I've been trying to, man. It's I got in an argument over not wearing a mask at the gym from the entrance to the weight set, which is 10 feet. I was like, I'm not wearing a mask because I walk in here well, you have to. And I said, I'm really not. I'm not going to fake I put a mask on and walk over there and then I'm not doing it. And then they said I can't come anymore. So I've been trying to go late at night when they're not there. Like they said, you can't come in here without a mask. But literally, there's 20 people in there working out without a mask. I just have to wear one when I walk in because apparently that's the high infection zone. But I did tell somebody the other day at the polls. I didn't wear a mask when I went and voted either. And I was like, sure, you got to wear a mask. I said, oh, I can't. I got a double lung transplant. And they were like, oh, okay, no problem. I said, cool. And then the guy was sitting there thinking like double lung. Yeah, I said,
double lung transplant.
So, yeah, that's the it's on the scars right underneath my Nazi eagle tattoo.
I feel like you're like Curb Your Enthusiasm on like steroids. Like
I've never seen that, but I am on steroids, so it works out either way.
By the way, now you got your house, right?
Yeah, I did. I actually closed yesterday on it. So yeah, I got a house with 20 acres, man. I just went down yesterday and bought a pit bull and thought I could take it with me. Apparently I have to wait 2 weeks. So I drove 7.5 hours to pick up a pit bull puppy, like a real game bred, famous line pit bull. And they're like, oh no, we keep him for another 2 weeks. You can just pick today though. I was like, awesome. I'm paying $4,000 for this dog. I guess I'll be back in a couple weeks. So yeah, it was a
like you went to go pick up Thiago Silva or
yeah. Oh God. Yeah. You know, it'd been funny if you earlier, I was going to say that it'd been so funny if when you asked Henry if he was Mexican, if he's like, no, Brazilian, like if you had his wrestling wrong and his nationality and everything. Like,
dude, I had no idea. The whole jail thing is what fucking threw me. Like,
you try to get him to admit to felonies online. Like, how many people did you stab while you're in there? And are there any current cases open where you're a suspect?
All you gotta do is listen to your MMA Roasted and go, he did admit it. So, boom. Thank you, Adam Hunter. He says, yeah, we got you.
I love what he said. I can't believe you were actually funny. I was like, wait, what?
Dude, there's no place I'd want to fight that guy ever, but especially in jail. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
But it's funny how he was like, man, you were way funnier than I thought. I'm like, Adam's been kind of funny for a long time.
You know what? It's all good. Like, that's better than like I thought you were gonna be good and it was terrible, right?
Yeah. No, I've had fighters come to my shows in Vegas because of Adam, and then of course I think, but when they see me, then they go, oh, okay, yeah, he was funny. Like, so it's like I got co-signed funny because you were funny.
Oh, that's cool.
Because if they think, well, Adam thinks he's funny, he must be funny. And then they come see me, they go, oh, no, he actually is funny. So yeah. I think that, you got a really good following of fighters that actually co-sign you. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I love it, man. Love it. So what do you got coming up?
I tell people all the time, man, that I said, if you think Adam's funny, or even if you don't like his jokes, watch him work the crowd, because that's some of the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, yeah. No, I've seen him. Let's be real. I've seen him go right to the edge where I thought, we're gonna have to fight our way out of this.
Dude, yeah, he asked some Arab dudes how the cell meeting was going or whatever. Like right at the beginning, he goes, "Hey, is this your guys' cell? How's your meetings going?" I was like, "Holy shit, that's good. This is awkward." And then he introduced me to some guy who seems real cool or whatever. And then Adam warns me later on the night, sends me a text, "By the way, be careful with that guy." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said he's just kind of an odd guy. And then the guy, I start talking to the dude. The dude's like, "Yeah, I don't know if Adam told you or not. I used to be in porn like that." And I was like, cool, dude. I was like, that's weird. And so we're sitting there. And I said, in what capacity? He goes, the best capacity. And then later on, Adam said it was him and 40 guys jerking off on one girl. So
yeah, he was like guy number 37, like, and like literally jerking off next to some other guy jerking. It was like the worst kind of porn you could ever.
Like he was
I don't know how
dude, man.
How is that a skill? That's just not a skill.
Dude, I knew a guy, my friend T Real, who was like was a porn star, and he would like do porns where like he would do like triple, basically like two guys like fuck a chick in the same hole, and then a girl, and then another guy like behind. And I was like, isn't that kind of weird being next to some dude while you're banging a girl? And he's like, it's like sports, you got to play your position.
That's exactly what it's like. You're sure he was a porn star? I thought he was more of a porn character actor from the work I've seen him in. I don't know that he could actually be qualified as a star and carry the whole film himself.
Star. I think that would be auxiliary.
Supporting porn actor.
Yeah, exactly. But no, Adam, that's a good thing for you, man. The bottom line is, plus you get the special coming up, so that's gonna be cool. But it's just funny, like even on here, now I get more static than I do. I get a props because of MMA Roasted, but I get static too because people are like, "Oh, you're so fucking wrong about Anderson Silva," and then they'll fucking keep inboxing me because I said that he was retired before this fight, and then the people are like, "You're an asshole, fuck you." I'm like, what?
Dude, I get that. Like, I'm like sitting there with my wife and my daughter. I'm doing like 500 things, and I'm trying to watch the fights at the corner of my eyes. And people will hit me up. And they're like, "What are your picks for tonight?" And I'm just like, I try to not. I go blah blah blah. And they're like, "How are they gonna win?" And I'm like, sorry, man, I'm kind of busy. Oh, you're too big for me? I'm like, bro, I have like 19 fucking things right now. Like,
never post your winning picks online. I made a mistake of posting a 30-1 parlay I did on fights where I won, I don't know, like $1,800 on a $60 bet. And then since then, I have 100 people every fight. Who you got tonight? What's your money winning parlay? I'm like, dude, I already posted them on my wall. Well, what do you think about this guy? Do you think he's going to pull it out? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I got a life and stuff. I'm like trying to close on this house.
When you post against a certain fighter, at least because of, and this is your fault, this is Adam's fault. Is the people that go for that other fighter are like, they hate you forever. Like I made a reference about Usman, and I just said, yeah, man, that motherfucker need to fight Kobe again. Like, he already beat his ass. What are you, sucking up? What are you, Uncle Tom? Like, what? So how am I Uncle Tom? Because I think he deserves another shot at Usman.
Dude, I make a joke about someone, and then people tag that person, and I have to DM them, go, please do not tag that fighter. Why? I'm like, no, they want to follow me, great. I'm not trying to have this person fucking kill me, you know? Like,
right. Have you ever had anybody DM you on Twitter and ask you what you think about a fighter? And I'm like, that dude's a bitch. He's going to lose. Then they post it publicly by the actual.
Oh, I know.
Like, McCorkle thinks he's a bitch. What do you think about that? Like, and I'm like, great.
Oh,
and I didn't know you were posting that.
Adam had to tell me, ignore this person because they're an asshole.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that guy just is. That dude hit me up on like both Twitter accounts. I blocked him. Then he found me on Instagram. I had to block him there. Then he was in my YouTube comments. I'm just like, leave me. I open my door. He's like at my house. I'm like, dude, get a hobby, bro. Like, I get it. Like me.
What do you want? What do you expect? Shab doesn't have much to do since Rogan moved.
That's true. Have you seen Shab on the show since he moved?
Nope. I know he went to Texas and tried to get on the show, and I heard he was like, told, yeah, man, I don't really got time. Thanks. Somebody that's on the inside of that group that hates Shab always gives me the DL. It's the funniest thing ever.
Somebody was like, sent me a thing where he was interviewing Cyborg, and he called her the 105-pound champion. Like,
yeah.
like to her face.
105.
We're like 105 pounds, and he kept saying, you're the best 105-pound champion. I'm like, bro, like she hasn't been 105 since she was 4.
Right.
I think she was in preschool.
Yeah, like fuck, dude.
But Brendan Schaub, he'll have a career. I mean, Showtime gave him a special.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I heard it was really good too.
Yeah, it was the best.
The word online is that it's amazing. That's the word on the street.
It was like Chris Rock, Bring the Pain, dude. It was up there.
It was up there. You said it was up there with Chris Rock.
Yeah,
that shit, man. But no, I hope that all the people that listen to the show know that Adam does his thing. Like,
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
My friends are always stunned when I say, "Oh, that motherfucker's funny." And then we did a show together. I think it was Seattle, and a lot of my friends was like, "Yo, man, he was right." And of course, you got the brothers going, "Man, I'm gonna tell you, that white boy man had me chuckling." Like,
black people.
Why would you say that? It's like, yeah, I'm just saying, man. I said, "You mean Adam?" Said, yeah, Adam. What is it, Hunt? Adam Hunt? That motherfucker's funny. I was like, "Yo, man." He said, "We're gonna come back Saturday. You better be as funny as he was before." I'm like, "Really? Now you're."
Black audiences are the best.
And it was funny. They all came back, and then he was funny again. The Parlor. I think it was the Parlor. They came back again. They're like, man, you motherfucker's funny, and it's just hilarious because they're always like thrown back, even though they had seen you before, and then they seen you again and go, it's funny.
Yeah.
You know what I love about black people, amongst many things. One of the things I love most about black people is it doesn't matter how offensive or how racist it is. If it's funny, they love it. They don't care. They don't care how, like, a white dude can say the most racist thing ever, but if it's funny, they think it's great. Like, they crack up. Man.
Funny's funny.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I go by that. I see some people say horrendously racist shit, and I'm sitting in the back laughing, and I have somebody black look back at me like, "Fuck, man, why are you laughing?"
I think people have to know the intent too. You know, they know if you're coming from like a place of love and like trying to make someone laugh, versus if you're just saying racist shit because you actually hate black people. You know, like, and intent's a huge thing.
I've always thought that, man. Like, it's hard to hurt somebody, or it should be hard to hurt somebody's feelings if you don't mean to do it. You know, if you're just trying to make them laugh, like that's your goal. How are you going to get offended? I'm trying to make you laugh. Like, my goal is to make you laugh.
Also, I think that sometimes is what gets lost in on TV. or in person versus on like Twitter, is that you don't know the intent when you just read a tweet. You don't know the person.
Yeah.
But if you say it in someone's face or like, that, like that's your friend.
Yeah. Well, it's the same as texting a girl. Sometimes you can text something to a girl and she'll get super offended by it. You're like, I meant it this way. I was, I didn't mean it like, all the tone, like, why are you being mean to me? Like, I just said, do you want anything from the store? Like, like, it's like whatever voice they choose in their mind to read it in.
Put a magnum up your pussy. Come on. How did you take that the wrong way?
Yeah, come on.
How did you take that the wrong way? Then I'll just make sure I tag Ween. That's all. I'll just make sure I tag Ween when I send messages like that. But even with fighter fans, they take it more intensely. They take it like if I'm against, like when I said Anderson Silva should retire and I got all this shit from all these people online. Fuck all y'all, by the way. I really mean that from like the deep.
I was expecting an apology.
Yeah, no, I'm not. And the fact that somebody online told me to take it back, I'm like, bitch, he shouldn't have fought. And his Dana White shouldn't have let him fucking fight.
Dana said he felt bad about that. Shang, what do you have coming up?
Oh, nothing. Nothing for about 2 weeks. I mean, I'm doing online shows, but I mean, and that's decent money, but I'm not, I don't have.
How did the show in Vegas go?
No, they moved it. I ended up doing another show. Luckily, I got another show. I did a rooftop show, and it was awesome. It was great and just amazing show. So,
Weendo, what do you got coming up?
So subscribe to the Joe Perez Show on YouTube and the Joe Perez Show on social media.
McCorkle.
You know me, just hating Brendan Schaub and Jesse Parsley, so I'm good other than that. I'll be focused on all my energy on negativity the next couple of days. So.
That sounds like a plan. I have 3 shows in LA, one tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. One's in Venice on Friday.
I saw that.
If you want to come, hit me up. Shooting my special in Vegas, November 18th.
Did Tito bring that show to Venice Beach since he's a councilman now there, or where? Oh no, it's Huntington Beach.
In Huntington Beach. And then I'm doing Alameda Comedy Club in Alameda, California, and then I'll be in Las Vegas at the Strat New Year's Eve that whole week. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Take care.